Hi Gaurav.
Good evening. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Fine, thanks. Fine, thanks.
We've got people coming in. Namaste, friends. Welcome to
Namaste.
Asian Adventures webinars. We've restarted these webinars after a long gap. So welcome again. A lot of you have attended these webinars before, which are nature centric. And today, this webinar is more about learning. It's like a mini workshop. So this will be quite different actually. Hello Rashmi ji. Hello Raghu. Mr. P.D. Sharma. Shruti. Pavan. Welcome. Well, let me tell you about while other people come in. I'm going to give them another 2 minutes or so before I start. Let me tell you the intent of this webinar. Although it will be very evident in my slides as well. I've been noticing on internet that people want to get to smaller places which are different and more experiential, but they want the facilities of a good hotel. And it's just that we haven't been able to tell them the difference between a homestay or a small lodge or a boutique place. And we haven't been able to differentiate that from the hotel, that they get all worked up, angry sometimes that I'm paying so much money, and they start to compare hotels with homestays and lodges and these boutique places. So they fail to understand that the customers fail to understand that the big hotels have economies to scale. They've got their SOPs in order, whereas these small places are all emotionally driven. They've been created by people like you and I who have great passion for the kind of place it should be, So artifacts, little dimensions of food, and many other things. And of course, they don't have the kind of SOPs or procedures like the big hotels would. So the gap cannot be matched. So I'm here now to explain to people what I think about homestays. And today this is like a mini workshop and it'll just help everyone, right? It's also people who own homestays or running homestays or small lodges or boutique hotels. Can you just put that in the chat that who are the people who are doing it? It'll be interesting to see how many people are actually from the homestays or are promoting or are running their own homestays. It'll be nice to see that in the chat. Oh, my friends are here from the UK as well. Brian, welcome. And Kadir Saab is here from Dhaka. So there are people from different countries as well. And let me know if there's a... Okay, so Ravi ji is running. So let me know if there's anybody who doesn't want to hear this in English and who wants Hindi narration. Then I can mix and match. So can Gaurav. Wonderful. So Shruti, I know, is running Pine Mountain Cottage, Dwarson, and it's absolutely wonderful. So Raghu Kochar is going to do it. Oh, Madhur is from Orcha. Wonderful. And Kadir Saab, Sanjay ji. So many people who are actually doing things. So Prasanna is from Hampi. That's one place I really want to visit. Fantastic. So let me get started. I think we've got plenty of people here already. Let me get started with the slideshow straight away, and then in due course we'll introduce ourselves as well. So friends, this is, why we're doing these webinars, because this is in line with our mission. We want ecotourism in tourism industry to come forward as a real player. So, Gaurav, would you like to give a quick definition of what is ecotourism and what is sustainable tourism?
Just a second. Sorry, I seem to have some trouble with my mic.
Hmm. I can hear you properly.
Okay. Sorry, what was the question? My internet keeps going on and off.
Yeah. So, the difference between ecotourism and sustainable tourism.
Yeah. So sustainable tourism is basically when you provide the tourism experience for your guests, but you are also taking into account the local community, the environment as well. So basically, you are running eco-friendly. Your business is not harming, or actually is actually benefiting local communities as well. So that is sustainable tourism. And ecotourism is basically when sustainable tourism is done with an environmental theme. So, for example, whether it's a nature centric stay, a bird watching lodge, for example. So, actually, you can say that all ecotourism is sustainable, but not all sustainable tourism is ecotourism.
Wonderful, wonderful. So this is directly in line with what we do at Asian Adventures, and that's the goal. And what will be your takeaway today? You'd be able to understand how your lodges should run. Every small lodge, boutique lodge, will have only less input, and the outputs will be small as well. The idea is to use at less input and multiply your output. Output in terms of nurturing your clients, making them happy, getting more money into your pocket, also helping the community around you, environment, keeping your social structure alive, your traditions going, your culture in the healthiest state is all the is the profit that you're going to get, is the output that you will want to achieve. So it's a step-by-step process. I've got 10 classes over 10 months. So I know that a lot of people will fall off or may not want to join in or any of those things, but it's interesting. It's interesting to see what it entails. So these are the 10 things that we're looking at. We're talking about creating USP, looking at sales pitch, securing bookings, consistent marketing, meeting expectations of our visitors, management and compliances, experiences and value addition, visitor management. I'm not saying beating the competition. I think it's not a very nice thing to say because it's all about inclusivity. So let's talk about outdistancing. If you've got better terminologies, friends, please put it into the chat, and then we will use those instead. Yeah, and manpower. I don't like the word manpower, but just for the sake of putting it in, I put it in here. If you've got better terminology, let's use that. This is our game, our webinar, and we are free to use anything that is good for us. So a quick introduction about myself. I'm Mohit Aggarwal. I'm blessed with 4 children, a son and a daughter, and 2 non-humans, out of which 2 are non-humans, a Labrador and an escapee African grey. I'm the father of Shiva. Professionally, I'm an experiential ecotourism specialist. I've been trained by GSTC in sustainable tourism, and I'm on the board of Asian Ecotourism Network. I'm the founder of Asian Adventures and Natty Netter, which is Natty Netter is a eco-centric or nature-centric digital marketing company. And then this company is on a large mission to help Asian elephants with the corridors. Free the Himalayas of plastic waste. Saving pangolins is a new one that we've started in Gir, and helping small wildlife NGOs and conservation of the ancient Himalayan shrines is a bit about me. Over to you, Gaurav. About you.
Namaste, everyone. My introduction is not as detailed as Mohit. It's not as colorful either. So I'm Gaurav Nalkur. I live with my family in Pune. I'm an avid bird watcher. This is a passion and hobby that I've had since childhood, and I have a deep love for nature. And I'm also a strong believer in using wildlife tourism to raise awareness and aid conservation. Professionally, I'm training to be an ecotourism specialist. This is something that I hope can help me take my vision further. And educationally, I'm qualified as a wildlife biologist, interested especially in bird behavior. For the last 4 years, I've been lucky to work with Asian Adventures and Mohit, both of whom share my vision of, which I said earlier, using wildlife tourism to raise awareness and aiding conservation, and also using ecotourism as a means for helping preserve the natural world as well. Thanks.
So, friends, Gaurav is the backbone for ecotourism in Asian Adventures. He's just being humble when he's saying that he's got only 4 years. He is too deep inside, and he's worked a lot on conservation biology that you will know as you continue to listen to him. Um, a quick thing about Asian Ecotourism Network. Asian Ecotourism Network is an offshoot of Global Ecotourism Network, and it works in Asia. We have a chairman in Japan, and this has almost 37 countries representing on this platform. We've just come out with standards for homestays, lodges, hotels, small hotels, um, ecotourism norms, which you can apply, hotel norms, which you can apply in your lodges and get certified by Asian Ecotourism Network. If anybody is interested, we'd be happy to share the links. In the meantime, Fareen, can you go ahead and share the links of Asian Ecotourism Network and their Facebook group as well? And Gaurav, can you tell people about Planet Terra, please?
Sure. So another NGO that we are happy to be associated with and partnering with is Planetera. Planetera basically works to help local communities gain a sustainable income through sustainable ecotourism. So this could be either training them as guides, whether they're bird watching guides or cultural guides, or even as far as running resorts and homestays locally as well. Right now, Asian Adventures is helping them identify communities in the Western Himalayas which could really use the help, and we hope that Asian Adventures and Planetera can do some great work together in the future. Actually, I'd just like to request if Fareen can share the links for Planetera as well. That would be great.
I
Thanks.
think Gaurav Fareen is not here right now, but she'll join in very soon,
Okay.
and
Okay. Fine.
she'll post them then, and everybody will
Sure.
have those links. Okay. Oh, okay. So she's already posted. She's posted all of them together. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Fareen. Okay. So the first part that we're going to take on immediately is creating a USP. So people call it unique selling proposition, unique selling point, unique showcasing proposition or points also. So you can use it where you want. USP is a very, very strong term that we use all the time. That what's your USP? Why should I come to you? Why should I go to this place? Friends, this is a bit of work. If you've got your copies and pencils with you, that's great. If you can take down notes, that'll be very, very useful. If you want to quickly run and get your pencil and copies, pen and copies, that'll be very, very helpful. Anyway, later I'm going to give you a link. Oh, the link is already here. Exercise, it says and the link, it shows you the link that you can fill up later. But right now, just take a few notes which will be helpful for the lodge owners to to build their USP. I can see on Facebook and on Instagram, a lot of people are trying to promote their hotels, with whatever is required by the guest, and then you get into the rat race of competition, and it doesn't work for you. So here, what I'm trying to say is, let's create a USP that will work for lesser number of people, but those people will be committed to come to you. So, like I said, your input has to be small and your output has to be large. If you don't create your USP and you're all over the place, then your input will be very large and it won't be commensurate with your output. And then you would want to, you know, not, you will not be happy. Okay, good. So, just a few points that I put here. Let me just change the setting of this. So, unless your homestay cannot deliver the essence of the elements of the place, it doesn't become unique. USP is also great for your team because they go with your mission, they go with your goals. You know, so if you don't have a goal for your place, you must consider having one. What is it that your homestay is going to do for Mother Earth? What is it that is going to do for the community? What is it that's going to do that will change the lives around, that will make a difference to the people around? I'll just give you an example. When we started with Jungle Lord Birding Lodge in Pangot and we started with Gir Birding Lodge, the whole idea was at that point of time to start with the concept of bird watching in these areas. And people would say, you know, why, what's this, why do you watch birds? And I had to change all of that. And today we've churned out hundreds of people who are ecotourists now or bird watchers, great bird watchers, and lots of people who are now become bird guides and also bird watching entrepreneurs, and they started their own companies. And that was the mission of these lodges. So what is your goal of your lodge? What is it that you're going to do? And if you can put that across to people, your goals and your vision, then they will also get aligned. Oh, I'm going to so and so place for this very purpose, for this thing, for this goal of theirs, and I really appreciate. And they will come and help you. So that's how you build up your followership. So creating and communicating your USPs is the key to building your clientele. In short, your USP is the key reason your clients will choose you and not your competitors. I don't like the word competitors, but I'll say and not others. Creating a solid USP will help you save your resources, not only for the right kind of, only for the right kind. So I said small input, large output. Like bird watching is for. I'm just trying to show you some of the things. You could look at wellness. You could look at, um, you know, people around you. I'll go through all of that, right? Yoga, meditation is another USP that you can have for your lodge if that is the right area. Go ahead, Gaurav. Over to you.
Yeah, before I start, I just want to ask, can everyone hear me fine? I think earlier somebody put a message that my voice was breaking.
I can hear you fine. Aparna, can you hear Gaurav clearly? Just say yes if you can, if people can.
Okay. I think
Okay,
Fareen.
Fareen says okay. Yeah, now fine.
Okay. All right. So
Uh,
basically, as a
Speak a
homestay,
little louder. Speak a little louder, Gaurav, when you do.
okay. Is this fine?
Yes.
Okay. So as a homestay, I mean, I've seen that many people already here are running their own homestays, so you'll understand the kind of disadvantages you can have. One is a constant struggle to get new clients. It's very tempting to market your homestay to the same clients again and again, but after a point, they're not going to want to come back, for the third or fourth time. It's always best to try and get new clients. Again, there'll be no new ideas because you don't have your USP. You'll be running the same ideas again and again, or you won't know how to market it as effectively. Your marketing will lead to sales, but it becomes a roadblock. Again, your marketing leads to inquiries, and you get sales, but people are not very thrilled with the experience that they have at your homestay. Competition, again, a word that we're just using because it's the easiest word to use. So the competition outdistances you, and you fail to make yourself a role model. Basically, you should aim to be the market leader and not be following others. You have an inability to offer educative and life changing experiences to guests. So again, you don't want to be a run of the mill homestay where people just come to, sleep and keep their luggage and have a meal. You want to offer them really life changing experiences, and these are the things that will either get you repeat business from these people or get you great recommendations. So because of all this, you end up having a consistent loss of time, money, manpower, and this will reduce your sustainability. And over time, this will cause your own depreciation. And again, since you don't have a USP, there's no new ideas, there's no innovation, there's no learning. Uh, it gives a very stale feeling to your repeat clients. And we've seen this in a lot of homestays where they're great when they start and people are raving about them, but after a few years, people are just tired of their people are just tired of the same experience over and over again. So or we want to avoid this, right? So how can we avoid this? So the first step is to identify the strengths of your location. Basically, you have to find out what your location can do for you. Whether it's sorry, is everyone hearing me fine? Hello.
I think everybody can hear you, Gaurav. Go ahead.
Okay, no, I just saw a comment by Kadirji saying not connected. That's why I was worried.
No, no, go right ahead.
Okay, fine. So, like I said, you have to identify the strengths of the place you are. You have to make all those strengths work for you, and you have to make an analysis of what you have available. Your brochures, website, your marketing tools. Find out how you can make what do you call it? Sorry, how you can work these strengths to work for you. Again, using this, you can set your goals, be a visionary for your region. You want to be the market leader, you want to be the person who is setting new goals and new examples. For this, you'll have to build a USP, and you'll have to match it with your target audience. You don't want to be a bird watching sorry you don't want to be a bird watching lodge, and you don't want to market to the general crowd who will come with loud music and make a lot of noise. You need to know your target audience and match your USP to that. uh, and again, you want to avoid the temptation to follow your competitors. You don't want to meet them, you want to outdistance them. So don't follow them, find a way to surpass them. So again, some of the strength.
I just want to add to what he just said. When we're saying that temptation to follow your competition. So, for example, let's say you go to a place like Gir Forest, and everybody has swimming pools there, and really large swimming pools which are not sustainable. You know how dry it gets in Gir, and they're not sustainable pools because the water is being thrown off, or putting a lot of chemical in it. Now, every resort, every hotel, every homestay wants a pool. So you're driving the market and you're driving your own system with and creating a demand for that in the market. Now, if you don't have a pool, you don't have a pool, but you've got a USP that nobody else has. So because your competitor has a pool, you will say, oh, he's got a pool and I must have a pool. Oh, he's got this, I must have this. He's got this and I must have this. So you will always find that there is something which is lacking, and that will increase your inputs, my friend. And then you will start catering to anybody, everybody, just because you want to fill up your rooms. Yeah. So economically, it doesn't make sense, because what I've seen is that if your inputs are targeted, then you will be able to make your ends meet, and you'll be able to make profit as well. So go ahead, Gaurav, and thank you, Satyendraji. Just continue to add comments like what you're doing, because you're a pioneer in this field, and I've known you for years, maybe 30 years or more, and I know that the kind of work that you and Kay have done, they've changed the course of how wildlife tourism, should be. It's just beautiful. Go right ahead, Gaurav. Sorry for butting in.
No, no, actually, thanks. That was actually a great example. So when I was talking about strengths of your location, so for example, architecture. If you are located in Hampi, if you're located in Panna, which is close to Khajuraho, if you're most places in the Himalayas have beautiful temples like the ones in Jageshwar, uh, make the most of that. Why are you just offering, just bed and breakfast or bed and meals? You can have tours to show people these beautiful places. Similarly, if you have environment, now this is a very tricky thing because we've seen this go overboard a lot, but sustainably make the most of your environment. If you have beautiful waterfalls or beautiful wild places, picnics, bird watching, all these things are activities that you can offer. These are new activities. If you're in the mountains, offer trekking. uh, it's great stuff. So I think Mohit has a few exercises for everyone. I'll let him get to that.
Okay, thanks, Gaurav. So that was wonderful. Okay, friends. So to create your USP, so the link that Fareen has shared, Fareen, please don't share all the links. Only share the first one, right, which has the form, because that will allow people to fill in whatever they think is right. I've given you only examples. So like, note down your location, write down a line on each thing. What is your location about, and why is your location like that? Where is it? Is it in the Himalayas? It is somewhere else? You can write a paragraph, you can write a line, up to you, but you must talk about your location properly. What is it known for? Generally, what is it known for? Why is it important? Pangot is important for, I've taken Pangot because that's close to my heart. So I've talked about birds and treks, but you can write about uh, things that, no, don't write, things like, oh, I'll take you, you can do sunbathing there, or you can do stargazing there. That you can do anywhere, wherever it's just a beautiful area. Anything specific, anything that place has to offer, which other places don't have. So what is it known for? Is it known for a particular temple? Is it known for a particular tribe? Is it known for a particular ritual that they have, or anything which is so unique? For example, you go to Madurai. So Madurai will have spirituality, lots of interesting temples, great for photographers and all of that. Yeah. So talk about what your place is known for, right? Then what is your homestay all about? Is it a modern home? Is it a traditional home, converted heritage property? Or is it a modern one but made to look like a heritage, or a rural home, that's also fine. Be authentic about it. Like in Jageshwar, I picked up a lot of old doors from different parts of India. Yeah, there are doors from Bhuj, there are Kumaoni doors, there are doors from Kerala, there are windows. So it's a mix. But what I'm trying to say is that these places, I've tried to bring in a bit of modern and old style architecture into the lodge, and I'm saying things about it because I want people to know about the authenticity. So, what is your homestay architecture all about? What sort of food do you give? Do you say, "Oh, I give pizzas and burgers," or "I want to give Western food"? I have no problem with that, but just identify your lodge with when you're creating a USP, then people should know you for that. I'm not saying you don't give pizzas and burgers. That's fine if you want to. I have no problem with that. But I'm saying, what is the traditional food? Like I give Kumaoni thali, and not every Kumaoni dish is very tasty. Some of them are really, really nice, and the way we present them in bronze uh, thalis and things like that, it just looks so unique. But and that's how the local people used to eat earlier. Now they sold off their bronze utensils in the market, and they picked up aluminium or other unhealthy sort of metals which don't go with the region. So what is it that you're doing with the food? I remember going to Chambal long time ago, and RP told me, let's do cut meat here. I used to eat meat then, and he dug up one little pit, and he put some meat, marinated meat, into some leaves, sealed it with atta, flour, dumped it into the pit, lit fire over it, and it took a long time. I mean, we probably ate it in the wee hours early morning, and so it took about 4 to 5 hours to cook. But that is the kind of traditional food that these people used to eat earlier. What sort of service do you want to give? So mention that. Do you live there as family? Do you live with your family, or is your team your family, or whatever your family structure is? Mention that, because people are coming to a homestay, or they're coming to a small lodge, they're coming to so if you got that clarified, then they will treat you like a family, and you will treat them like your guest. Atithi devo bhava. Hmm. Accommodation. What is it? You've got rooms right next to each other, XYZ, whatever, right? So note these down: location, known for, homestay, and anything else which you think is missing, put it in the chat, and we'll add to our list, or you can even add on your own to your list. I'm helping you build your USP. Yeah. So landscape, food, the kind of place it is. That's Jungle Road Birding Lodge, where we have bird watchers coming in. Or you've got, so this is a local homestay, the kind of food which they serve, farming, if there's farming happening, and what sort of attire. Like you go down south and somebody will receive you with their mundu. Mundu is a lungi that they wear. Um, so they're happy to wear it, right? Or you go to Rajasthan, they're happy to wear their lungis. It's just that in some parts of Kumaon or Uttarakhand now, they feel that they're out of place if they don't wear jeans or pants. And but you go to Ladakh, the women are dressed up in their attire. So what sort of attire do you use also depicts how deep you are with the local tradition and culture of that place, how deeply you're attached. Um, Now the next part, B, I call it B because I haven't really thought of any other name. So activity. So write all the activities down. There's a reason I'm doing this with you. So write as many activities down. This form also has 10 activities listed. Not that you'll be able to do all 10, but there'll be people coming with different interests as well. Say Let's say a bird watcher will come and he wants to do hide photography and he wants to see birds, but he is also a foodie and he also wants to sit and meditate or go for a silent walk. What stops him from doing that? That's not the core activity that your lodge is providing, but that's fine. There are lodges that will only go for very very hardcore non-veg kitchen, and that's fine. That's no problem. Tell your client so that he's not coming with his grandparents who are completely sattvic and they don't even want onions and garlic in their food or Jain food they want. So clarify that and write all the activities that you can do. What is good for children, what's good for family, what's good for people who are physically fit, what's good for people who are old. So birdwatch. So I mean that's what I know the best. So I keep going back to bird watching as an example. Temple tours, something that's close to my heart. So again, building a USP activity, village visit, going and milking cows, if that's of interest to people. There is so my daughter is starting a slow living farm. A slow living farm is all about people getting to a place, spending 1 week there, and get integrated with the farmers in the area. They will follow their dincharya. You know what is dincharya? The regular day routine that they will do. Get up at 5 in the morning, go get their cows out, go to the fields, and the guest will have to do all of that. And it's minimum 1 week stay. That's what she's envisaged, and this is what she's going to build. So it's called a slow living farm. Family excursions. Now, this is very important. This is something that will change the way you look at your own hotel, your own facility, because this is what is going to help you build your goal, your vision, something that is going to die out or will fragment over a period of time, and you want it stay on. You want to build it. You want people to get aligned with it. You don't want it to go away, and your lodge can do it because it's something like a deep rooted tree. It's got very very deep roots. It is not going anywhere. It is like a huge banyan tree which will give fruit, shade. Even if it gets dry, people will still come under and sit under it. So it's like that. Your facility is not just a hotel. Your facility is like a strong rooted tree that will have tentacles going out, uh, miles out and showcasing itself. So that is what your homestay should be. So you will have to talk about tradition, culture, your social structures, history, farming, occupation of people, and take these people with you because they are this is how you build your own ecology. This is how you build your own system. So when I'm talking about ecology and system, I'm saying anything which is biological in nature. So let's say I'm this small and I'm this small in biology, and I have a huge number of biological dimensions around me: jungle, river, people, crows, birds, plants, soil, all of that. So that enlarges my entire ecosystem. But if I'm caged and I'm sitting in a concrete jail, or I'm sitting here at home, then I'm in four walls. My biological ecosystem cannot grow. So how are you going to grow your biological ecosystem with your lodge? Is what you're going to ask yourself. Farming, occupation of people, what is the conservation thing that you're doing, or charity, or what a bit of your profit goes into. What are the sacred spaces? Temples, mosques, sacred groves, maybe a talab or a pond, or any sort of fisheries pond or any sort of hide where you see birds and animals. What is the merchandise, handicraft textiles? Are you involving yourself in fair trade practice? Are you looking at how your customers and the vendors get the right price and they're not being, you know what I mean? So, so these are the things that you, so these are the things that you must identify and write down to create your USP. People, लोगों का घर लोगों से बनता है. So people, if you don't have, if you're not inclusive in your approach and you say, oh, these people are like that people are like that, my staff is like that, this person is like that, then you're only shrinking your own system. Okay. So another thing that will add more fuel to this engine as it becomes well-oiled machine, you will see that these particular elements will dictate who you are and will attach the right kind of people, and they will also behave in the same manner, and they will be able to appreciate for who you are, and they'll be able to take away these values with them. You know, what are your values? What is your promise? What is your governance or methodology? What is your vision? Who is a guest for you? For me, he's God for us because he's the one who's putting bread on the table for us, and he's the one who's ensuring our success. He's the one who's actually our emissary, our messiah, and he's the one who's taking us further. So, who is your guest for you? How are you handling finances, your compliances? What is the method you are you paying your taxes? Are you telling people how you pay your taxes so cleverly or so beautifully? So being clever, I don't mean cunning. I mean, you know, judiciously. How you maintaining your own health? You know, if you're healthy, then people love you. People like to look at you, and people appreciate who you are, and you become a role model. And if you want them to connect with their spirituality, nothing better than that. So values, promise, governance, vision, who's guest for you, finances, health, spirituality are some of the things. You can add more if you like. If you've got other things which you think can be added, do come back to me and help me as well. I'm in the same boat as you are. Okay, over to you, Gaurav.
Thanks. Thanks, Mohit. So finally, we talked a lot about target audiences and identifying the right person. So, who do you want to stay in your homestay? Who do you want to sell to? Do you want to sell to only bird watchers? Do you want to sell to, families who are looking for a quiet getaway? Do you want to sell to a general public? And what is the best method of reaching them? So again, this would be analyzing your marketing, thinking about that. So what will be the feedback and referral mechanism to expand your reach? So in tourism, a lot of weightage is given to recommendations and referrals. Things on we read TripAdvisor reviews before we're traveling anywhere, whether it's for a resort or a destination. So what is the type of feedback? Similarly, you want feedback from your clients. If you're doing wrong, if you're doing something wrong, if something can be improved, you need to welcome that negative feedback as well, which will help you improve. Similarly, how can you align your activities to appeal to your target audience? So your activities, your theme. Theme means you don't want a bird watching resort that looks like a five-star lodge. Or similarly, if you want to sell to a higher end crowd that is not interested in bird watching, you don't want a very rustic theme or decor to your homestay. So how are you going to align all these things to appeal to your target audience? And finally, what will be their takeaway? When they leave your homestay, what is the thing that they are going to think about? How will you staying at your homestay have changed their lives? So who is your client? So just some examples here. This is not a hard and fast thing. So a client is someone who loves your location and your architecture, someone who's interested in the activities that you're offering, someone who likes your if you're offering a very immersive cultural experience, it's someone who respects and likes your traditions, your traditional food, your culture. And at the end of the day, it's also someone who believes in your values and ethics. Again, if you want to add more to this, please feel free, please add in the chat, or you can get back to us. We'd like to learn as well. So who is he and how to find him? If you have a pen and paper, this would be an ideal time for it. So what you want to do is have a picture in your mind of your ideal client. So if you can picture him or her, you want to write down, let's say, for example, their name, what age group they're in, what kind of profession they're in, their abilities. So abilities in this case would be, for example, uh, if you have a homestay that is on a steep hillside that has a lot of stairs, you do not want elderly people who are visiting your homestay, as they'll find it hard to climb up. Similarly, what are their hobbies? What is, we talked about your family network, your team. What do you think their family should be like? What kind of professional background do they have? What are their values? So after you have this ideal picture in your head, these are the kind of people that you want in your homestay. Perhaps not exclusively, but these will be the kind of people who you want to primarily market to, your primary target audience. So again, how will your guest or client help you? Again, these are just examples. Your guest will respect and appreciate nature. He'll be happy with simple but comfortable amenities. We're talking about homestays here. We're not talking about five-star resorts or hotels. Similarly, he'll also respect local cultures and traditions. Like I said, with sustainable tourism, we are looking at homestays that want to benefit local communities. So again, he or she has to be someone who respects local cultures and traditions. If you want to be the market leader, you're going to be offering very new, very offbeat experiences. So you have to have someone who is open to exploring these. And you have to have someone who is willing to help you by providing good reviews, or will help in publicize your homestay if they're influencers. So this can either be TripAdvisor reviews, they can be Google My Business reviews, they can even be, I mean, Instagram reels. We've seen a lot of them from travel influencers nowadays. You want travelers who are looking for peaceful getaways, and you can also target backpackers who are looking for comfortable and affordable accommodation. They want to stay somewhere cheap, but at the same time they don't want to sacrifice the comfort level as well.
So, Gaurav, here I'd like to just say a few things.
Yeah, please do.
This is something that these are just guidelines. This is not what you really need to worry about. You can write your own thing. This is what these are some of the things that we have mentioned to get an idea from. You can write whatever you like, however you want your avatar to look like. So once you've identified his name, his psychographics, his demographics, and then you can then say, I want him in this manner and I want him to function in this manner, right? Now, For example, when you start looking at your customers, you will be very clear that these are the things that he should be able to deliver now, or he should be able to know more about, or he should be like this, right? Approximately, it won't be exactly like that. But then your inputs will just be targeted to attract such customers. Of course, if other people come, you can help them stay at your place or in your adjacent lodges or any of these places and make some money out of it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that if you clued in with whatever that the kind of customer you want, the other people you can say no. Like, for example, if I get people who want to come and say, they call and they say, I'd like to stay at Jungle Lord Birding Lodge. This is, are you a bird watcher? This, no, I'm not. And I say, is it something that you're looking for in nature? Do you want to go for a trek or something? No, we want to stay in a hotel, and we've heard a lot about you, but my children want every day they want to be out in the market and they want ice cream or they want to play games, and that's absolutely fine. But I don't have that. So I'll say, this might be the wrong place for you, the wrong choice for you, because this place is cut out for only different kind of people. It's not meant for, you will be unhappy and you will feel that you wasted your money and time. So I'd say, okay, but if you want to go, you can go stay in Nainital, which is 15 kilometers away. And there are lots of good hotels. Some of these names are here, and you can be right by the lake. So I will help them find the right place by telling them. So what is the kind of people you want for your hotel is what you need to look at. Go ahead, Gaurav.
So yeah, thanks for that, Mohit. Actually, you explained it much better than I could. Uh, so you want to attract people like solo backpackers, or families, or even you want people who want a small experience. Something will appreciate your small input and want a simple and peaceful experience. So Mohit, I think I'll hand it over to you for the USP jargon. I think you'll be best to explain that.
Okay, great. Thanks. So once you've identified this, friends, this will take time. So feel free to call me and discuss with me. I am absolutely happy, or you can WhatsApp me anytime. I'll put my Fareem, just put my WhatsApp number, Baba, in the chat so that they all can see my WhatsApp number, and I'm happy to chat with you and will guide you with whatever I know, whatever I have done. And if you've done more than that, please teach me. And then the next part will be, how do you build your brochures, your website, your social media accounts with the same spirit that you have delivered or written down your values. You know, because there's a lot of love and respect that goes into it, and for the reader as well. So, so the right kind of communication will help. You know, so here I've written Gilberting Lodge, every nature lover's first choice, right? And or Himalayan eco lodges, every nature lover's first choice. So you can put many taglines as you go along. You can do hundreds of ideas. Your mind will start to open up if you're not doing it. If you're already doing it, wonderful. So this is, so since we are so bird centric and wildlife centric that that's where we keep roaming around. We come back to the center point, which is to do with nature and wildlife and birds in Himalayas. So your website can talk something of that sort. So it says asianvinces.net. And then your gamut of social media handles. Friends, like I said, small input, large output. Don't go with too many social media handles. It'll be very difficult for you to maintain them, and you will just leave them there to die. The reason I'm saying that is because you require large teams. If you've got deep pockets, you could do it. But if you don't have the time, energy, space, then just stick to very few. Instagram works very well, Facebook works very well, YouTube works very well. And be consistent. If you're consistent, then it'll work for you. And do not waste your precious time on somebody else's hard work. Use that time to create your own hard work that people will follow. Okay. So so remember that these social media handles can actually make you go stray, absolutely crazy, and you would never have anything concrete in your hands if you continue to follow. So create and put, create and put, create and put. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Just go ahead, create and put this information in so that people can see who you are, what your value systems are, what your USP is, what kind of people you want, right? So that's very, very important. And if you're not doing that, then you're really missing a great opportunity. Create QR codes if you can. Use Linktree, like how she has put here in a social media ecologist. If you click this Linktree/ecologist, you'd be able to see under one link. It's like a mini website with lots of links. Then, once you've got your vision and your goal, then go across to these government bodies, NGOs, at least show your face in these places, give lectures with whatever you have in mind. It doesn't matter whether it's right or wrong. You speak your mind. It doesn't matter whether. So I don't know how many people are really interested in what I'm saying, but I'm saying because I feel like doing this. This is something that I want to bring about to people, and that's what I know. It's working. It's working for me, and I know it works for everyone who works hard on it and who wants to put work into it. So collaboration with local communities, government bodies, NGOs like Planet Era or Asian Ecotourism Network or TOFT or XYZ or what, as many as you like. Making use of local media if you're influential or you have some clout, and participation in local forums. So build your presence for what you stand. Again, I'm coming to this terminology. Please help me find some better word than this. But the leader can only be one. Not everybody can be a leader. And the leader has to lead everyone into safety, into security, into sustainability. So if you know how to do that, then you can help others. But if you yourself don't know how to do that, then you're in the rat race of competition. So make yourself that powerful that you can help others, because you know that you'll never be out of that current, that wattage that is needed, and you have surplus power to give out to other electricity lines. So most homestays will only market certain aspects like food, logistics, accommodation. आओ खाओ पियो सो और चले जाओ पैसा दे दो. No, small lodges are not about that. Hotels are like that, where some people who don't have the vision, they just want to put a star on their shoulder. I have a hotel, so I've created one. Now I can't run it. I've given it to a chain or XYZ. If you've got a small lodge which you've developed passionately, there is no way it's ever going to fail because you're going to have a USP. So, like Gaurav said, avoid the temptation to follow or be on par with your competitors. Your USP will surpass them. So it'll be a life-changing game. You'll be the market leader, positive cycle with good reviews, responsible and ethical activities. Like you said, like I said, you will pay your taxes. You will use not hotels quality food, but something that you eat at home, at least basic. Because he's a man who's putting bread on your table. How can you feed somebody something which is inferior to that and still expect money rolling in from that person to pay for your bread. Yeah. So sustainability info resources, enhancing your reputation with clients and local communities, only to help them, only to take your business forward, only to, so the dharma of business is to make this place a better place. I'm an ardent follower of Acharya Chanakya. And Chanakya said the dharma of business, when you've gone past your basic survival mode, is to make this place, this world a better place through your good deeds, through transactional business. Somebody will pay you to do this, no problem with that. You get your money, whatever it's worth, and you make this place sincerely good for that person. Or you do your transaction so beautifully. That person is happy. I came to the right place and I got my money's worth. So some examples of Borneo homestay, they change. Ours are very rural, theirs are a little modern, they will have various things. So different benchmarkings, different places. Thailand homestay, rural homestay with those thatch huts, farming. I went to a place in Cambodia which was so beautiful, lovely family, and we cooked with them, we ate with them, and that place was buzzing with bird life. So I got lots of photos of various species. This is one sarai where we conduct Shiva walks, Hatha Yoga retreat, meditation, short treks. So it's a Himalayan spiritual lodge um, in Jageshwar near Almora and Kumaon in the Himalayas. So our next workshop will be, if you build that USP, then please come back and attend our next workshop on homestays, which will be on another um, aspect that we will tell you through email what we're going to tackle, and it'll be on September 5th at the same time, 7:30. We planned it for 1 hour. It's 1 hour 2 minutes, so we already overshot. Over to you, Gaurav, to say anything that you'd like to.
Uh, Actually, I don't think I have anything to add. You've put everything forward so beautifully. But yeah, so again, a lot of the things that you will see here. So when we're talking about the activities or who is your client, they are guidelines. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to learn from you. We are not claiming to be the gurus in this field. We are learning from everyone. We're all in a boat together, as Mohit first said.
So, friends, use that link and I'll have a look at whatever you filled in, and you will get a copy as well so that you know exactly what you've written. Store it in OneNote or store it in Google Doc, whatever that you write, so that that's a document that will build the entire skeletal system for your place, and you'd be able to constantly tweak it as you go along. So don't leave it behind. And if you missed out something, just feel free to WhatsApp me. I'll put my WhatsApp number here right now.
I
So
think
that,
Fareen's already put it up.
okay, I'll just put, I have a few numbers, and I'm happy to, Gaurav, can you put yours as well
Yeah.
so that people can get in touch with us? And I'm just so happy to let them ask me questions because that's great food for thought. And we can always go on, a quick chat to help you set your USP. This is, like I said, this is in line with our mission to make ecotourism happen in every place. There's a great absence of destination management in India, which is why most destinations die out very quickly. And the USP dies out very quickly. And we start to, look at ghettos and overcrowded, over tourism places. And these places die out, those beautiful landscapes suddenly have these huge, ugly buildings or shopping markets or malls coming up. That's because there's a sheer absence of destination management body or bodies or systems in this country, whereas places like Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Australia, China, all of them have great destination management bodies, and they are able to put their rules and regulations down. But let's do our thing and let's see how far we go with our thing. And I've been pushing to the government about destination management bodies. Let's hope it happens in my lifetime. Anything anybody has to say, my friend? If you enjoyed this webinar, please say yes in the chat so that I know that I haven't wasted your time. Gaurav, did you enjoy?
Yeah, of course.
And thank you. I'd really like to thank my team for putting this together. It requires a bit of work. Gaurav and Salil and Fareen and Priya and everyone has worked on creating this webinar, and we will be doing many such webinars as we go along. I think we have another webinar coming up on the 9th. Anyway, you'll get that news through email or group or WhatsApp groups and any of those things. So friends, if you've enjoyed this webinar, please put yes, and I will then sign off with namaste to you and deepest gratitude for showing so much love and respect. As they say in Hindi, industry ने मुझे बहुत प्यार दिया है. So, and feel free to be in touch with me. I'm your friend for life. Thank you.
Thank you all for
friends.
attending. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.